people can see us.
Oh, yep, we're up now.
Dancing in the background.
Hello, welcome again to the Mad Cow Ask a Tech. Out here, ended up being a pretty decent day. Weather's cooperating. We've got had a decent number of people out today.
So first off, I do want to apologize. I said last week we would be covering the Havoc Metadyne launcher here. However, my counterpart had put it away and he forgot where he put it, and so we didn't get a chance to.
I don't remember it happening that way.
So we just found it about 20 minutes ago. So maybe at the end of the show I'm going to shoot him with it. I'm not sure yet. I haven't decided yet. Also, before we get started, I just want to thank the Mad Cow Factory team for leaving the ice in the freezer. However, you didn't shut the door all the way, and all my light snacks melted. Swear, this is like a Klondike bar that has... Oh, let me see one of these. Let me pull it out, because literally...
Which one is this?
This one right here. This is like just a...
And this one, it's a shell.
It's a shell. There's no ice cream in here. The ice cream is gone, and it's strictly chocolate shell.
It's a whole box of them.
I'm not used to...
That's what it is, see?
Well, I was talking about the cameras. I'm
yeah.
still getting used to the two-camera thing. But it's alright, because they take care of me around here. I'll be alright. Got a Snickers.
So thank you,
Ice cream
MCF,
Snicker.
for the ice cream.
Thank you for the ice cream.
And today we are going to cover... This is actually a PMI Piranha.
So next week, we will do... You're here next week, right?
Yeah, unless I misplace it again.
Yeah. I'm taking it home, actually.
So this week we're covering a PMI Piranha. This is the same thing as a Kingman Spyder. Had quite a few of them. Oh, you switching now?
I think... You want me to switch, or you want to... You can still talk to him if you want.
Had quite a few of them lately. Coming in, they'll be leaking like down the barrel and out of the feed neck. And a lot of them, they're at least 10 years old, and it's these factory O-rings. And the factory O-rings over time kind of turn to goo. I was playing with one earlier that ended up rolling into a ball, but I'll show you what they do when we pull the gun apart. So I'll go ahead and switch the camera.
Ready to go back? Okay.
Click on work. Yep.
Got this, man.
All right. Get our lights repositioned. So this is our PMI Piranha. This is a stack tube blowback style marker, which means you cock it, pulls the hammer back in here. When you shoot, the sear releases the hammer goes forward, strikes the valve, air goes up and out to fire the paintball, and then air from the valve also forces that hammer back to recock the gun. First thing we're going to do is start taking apart. This particular marker has a push pin. They're either going to have a push pin or screws towards the back. Pull that out, grab everything, and pull it all out of the back of the gun. We're going to rebuild this part first, and then we'll do the valve after, but you can see how well you can see that. That was an O-ring. Now it's all sticky. Take these other ones off too. There we go. I try and pull it off, and it crumbles, breaks. They can't really do their job, and that's not poor maintenance or anything like that. It's just the O-rings will do that over time, especially the urethane ones like this, which are kind of a clearish color. So this O-ring I just replaced.
You should tell them about using the proper oil. Not
Yes,
using
I will.
like
Yep. And Chad brought up a good thing I was going to talk about later. These guns use oil, not grease. And make sure you use an oil that's made for pneumatic purposes. If you use just any oil.
not motor oil.
Yeah, not motor oil, not 3-in-1 oil, anything like that, because they're actually going to eat away at your O-rings. I'm going to try and clean the bolt and get some of the goop off from these old O-rings. And then we're going to take our new O-rings here and put them on. A lot of these guns, they're going to be a standard size 15 O-ring. Your gun may be different, but That's going to be the most common.
But 15, isn't that the same for your tank?
Yep, that is the same size as a tank O-ring. So we got the new O-rings on that, the new O-rings on our hammer. Put this part back together, and then we will start tearing apart the rest of the gun. Set that guy aside. Now we have our gun here. First thing we're going to do is take our frame off. One thing that is slightly different about the Piranha line compared to most of the Spyders is this front section here, where your air actually goes up into the gun. On Piranhas, that is one solid piece, so it's actually connected to the body. Most Spyder guns, it's called the front block, that's held in by a screw. So if you have a Spyder, you're going to have to take out an additional screw to get that front block out.
That's so bad.
Now we've got the screws out of our frame. Gonna go ahead and pull them out, and then we're gonna unscrew the regulator to separate our frame from the rest of our gun. Set the frame aside, and now we have our gun here. We're gonna take off our volumizer cap. And then on the bottom of the body right here, this set screw actually holds in your valve. And
Oh, sorry, Remy.
that valve is where those leaks are coming from that I talked about down the breech. So we're going to take out the set screw. There you go. Set it aside. Then we're going to pull out our poppet and valve spring. And then we get our fluffy, and we are going to push from the back of the gun forward to push the valve out. There is our valve.
Should be
You
a
can
hand
see
model.
on here we've got these kind of whitish, or now they're brown colored O-rings. Those are going to be the cause for that leak, just from those O-rings going bad over time. These ones aren't as bad as the ones on the bolt were, so they've been changed more recently probably. But pull those off. Get those away. If you're ever unsure of the O-ring size, if you have a sweet tech mat like we do, you can go ahead and set the O-ring over the size, which right here,
Real slow.
it will line up on here. We also have an Exalt mat underneath this one. This one just has our logo on it, so we like to use it.
We would use the Earl one, but we actually use that all the time. We only use this one for our videos to keep it nice and clean. The
Yeah.
other one
The Exalt
is our
one,
work
it's
one.
it's
It's our work one.
yeah, it's kind of nasty.
So
this,
we're working on getting a new one made from Exalt.
This is size 15. Go ahead and throw that out of the way, and we'll get our new ones and put them on. Now, while we have the gun disassembled, we're going to go ahead and take one of our fluffies, or swabs, or squeegees, or whatever you want to call it, really. I've got a straight one I got from Vulcan. I like using these to work on guns. We're going to run them through and clean the gun. Now that the gun's clean, look through it, make sure there's no gunk in there or anything like that. Then we're going to start to reassemble the gun. For the valve, you can see there's one of the faces has a big hole, one of them has a much smaller hole. That smaller hole is always going to go towards the rear of the gun. We're going to slide it in from the front. That one's a bit tight, so we're going to put a little bit of oil on it. Again, make sure that you use oil. This is Tipman oil that we've had for a while. Just a drop on each O-ring. Rub it with your fingers. That'll help it fit into the body a bit easier. It's kind of fighting me right now. I'll get it. And then take our swab again, like this, push it in, and hopefully not push it out of the back of the gun like I just did. Try that again. If you do this on a actual Spyder marker instead of the Piranhas, there is a stop, so the valve can only go in the gun from the front. There's a little pin going across the body to stop it. So this time when I push it in, I'm going to watch underneath until I see the valve through that hole where the set screw was. And then we're going to take our screwdriver, stick it through that hole, try and line everything back up. Once that is lined up, we're going to go ahead and take our set screw, stick it in there, and then we are going to tighten that down. Set screws in place, so now our valve has been basically rebuilt, and that leak will now be gone. So if you have a Spyder style marker and you air it up, make sure you cock it first, and then if you air it up and you hear a leak in this area here, that is from those O-rings being deteriorated most of the time. So go ahead and pull the valve out like I just did, replace the O-rings and put it back together. So now to reassemble it, we're going to take our valve, our poppet and O-ring, slide them back in. Take the volumizer cap, we're going to change the O-ring on that as well. Have everything apart, so why not? Stick that back in, tighten it down. Thread our regulator back onto the gun. And then we're going to line up our frame to put our screws back in. This particular gun has two separate size screws. They're different lengths. So you can see the frame is thicker in the front than it is in the back, so you're going to take the long screw, stick it in the front hole, short screw, stick it in the back hole. Gonna tighten these up. Same thing with this front screw. We're gonna tighten it up. Also, if you have one of these guns and you're having issues with it and you don't want to troubleshoot it yourself, feel free to bring it in.
It's amazing how painful.
And we will get it looked at for you. Now we're going to put our bolt and hammer assembly back in, but before that we're going to lube them. Like I said before, correct lubricant. These guns use oil, not grease, and then it needs to be an oil for pneumatic purposes. We're going to put on the bolt just a small drop on each O-ring. And then on the hammer, we're going to put a drop on the O-ring as well. And then just rub it around with your fingers. All nice and lubed up now. And then we're going to slide it in the back of the gun. This gun has a release right here for the sear. So while you slide in the assembly, hold that up and it will allow everything to slide forward. If you're doing this on an actual Spyder gun, they don't have that. So while you are putting the hammer assembly back in, keep pulling the trigger and that will release it so your spring tension isn't crazy. Push your pin back in. Now our gun is correctly back together and should function the way it is meant to. There you go. PMI Piranha. This company, PMI is not really around anymore. This gun isn't made, but we had this on hand to show you guys how the Spyder style markers work. View Loader made a bunch of Spyder style markers like this. Kingman made them.
A lot of people are pulling them back out.
Yep, we are having a lot of people that have taken a break from playing for a while. They're coming back out and have these. Now you know how to get it all smooth and running the way that it's supposed to. And feel free to comment on markers you would like to see in the future. You want to switch my cameras back? Get my work lights out of the way. Feel free to comment on markers you would like us to do in the future. And if you have anything in particular you would like to see.
Just let us know.
And I know this time doesn't work for everybody to watch. If you think there would be a better time for the video, please let us know and we will try and work out what we can.
Or just watch the playback.
Watch them on YouTube. They are getting uploaded on YouTube, right?
Are you doing it? 'Cause I'm not.
We'll go back
Watch
on
them on
Facebook
Facebook.
Live.
We will try and get them uploaded on YouTube to the Mad Cow Paintball page. Until then, check them out on Mad Cow Paintball on Facebook and watch them all that you need. And feel free to comment with any questions that you have.
Next week, like I said, we will do the Metadyne launcher for sure. Is that right, Romy? Yes.
Yeah, as long as somebody doesn't lose it.
Again.
So,
we will do the Metadyne launcher, and we will also probably take a look at the new.
hopefully our EMEC will be in. We have it on
Yes.
order. Hopefully it ships Monday or Tuesday, and we'll have it before next weekend.
And we'll be able to check that out.
Another great marker choice. Eclipse just released it. It had fields testing it for the last few months, and
Great
they haven't really
reviews.
got any negative about it. So
Great reviews.
we'll let you know what we think. If you guys would like to start seeing reviews during the tech video, we can do that too. Just, again, let us know. We're here to help you out, so give us any recommendations. And other than that, I think we are done for today. You got anything to add?
No, I think we're pretty good.
Peace out.